You've got 5 minutes.
Is that 30 questions or excluding questions?
That depends on you. That's all up.
The longer you spend talking to us, the less we'll let you question.
We've only got one longer submission, and that is a group, so we normally do that for groups. So, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I come here today on behalf of the people of Petone, which is a small settlement, small village in Hutt Valley, Lower Hutt. It has been traditionally unfluoridated, and it is part of the special characteristic of Petone. They value their unfluoridated water, and survey after survey has shown that they don't want it to stop. And, you know, it's quite clear from the Minister's directive that should the Hutt Valley District Health Board be given jurisdiction to determine whether Petone's water will be fluoridated, they will do it because the Minister has said he wants the whole of New Zealand fluoridated. So I'm asking for legislation to contain a strict exemption for Petone until such time as they determine that they want their water fluoridated. I don't think that's unreasonable because the cost of adding fluoride into Petone is not insignificant. When the water system was changed in 2000, there was quite a lot of money spent keeping Petone unfluoridated. So if we want to reverse the situation, the ratepayers of Hutt Valley will incur quite significant costs. Now, I sent a couple of spreadsheets that I downloaded from the Ministry of Health with my submission. I don't know whether they didn't go on the printout that I got, but they were emailed in, and these are dental health statistics of Year 8 children in 2013, and it's quite useful because of part of the Hutt Valley is fluoridated and part of it is not. And if you look at the overall statistics, Hutt Valley, 61.74% of Year 8 children in 2013 were caries free. If you look at fluoridated parts of Lower Hutt, the figure is 61.67. And if you look at the unfluoridated, it is 62.07. So despite the fact that Petone isn't fluoridated, these children have, you know, they're virtually identical with the dental health outcomes. And even more surprisingly, if you look at the Maori statistics, 50% fluoridated, they've got caries free, and 63.64 of Maori non-fluoridated, in other words, Petone. So Maori are actually doing better with these dental health outcomes in Petone unfluoridated water than the rest of the population. And similarly with Pacifica, 55.56 in fluoridated water areas, 55.56 in fluoridated, and 56.25% non-fluoridated. So again, right across the board, Year 8 children in Petone are doing better in Petone with unfluoridated water than with fluoridated water. So, I mean, that just puts a lie to the claim that you will get significantly better health outcomes by fluoridating water.
We just want to be careful in here that we don't, we're hearing from a range of submitters, we don't want to start using the word lie. You have a view, we're happy to hear that, but we just like...
Well, I present the evidence.
Yeah, and I'm happy for you to table that with the clerk, so we just want to keep the language above. Thank you.
Right, thank you. Right. Now, when I was on the Hutt City Council, we heard a presentation from the Chief Executive of the Hutt Valley District Health Board, and he acknowledged that there should be a significant public good from fluoridation because it in no way, fluoridation is not needed for water safety purposes. The water is perfectly safe for consumption without fluoride, and he acknowledged that adding fluoride in is compulsory, is a compulsory medication, and he acknowledged that there should be a significant public good to justify that. Now I'm submitting to this committee and to the government that the statistics in Petone fail that test miserably. And I think that fully justifies the Petone being exempt from the jurisdiction of the Hutt Valley District Health Board. So it seems we're on a time restriction, I'll leave it there.
Thank you. And you do have extra copies, obviously, of your table here if you want to leave those with the clerk, which you indicated. Are there any questions? No? No, and you've done pretty well. You're almost close to your time, so thank you for your submission. Appreciate you coming in.
Sorry for allowing.
No, that's all right. It's just morning, please. Pleasure to have you in here today, and the next up to 5 minutes is yours to speak to your written submission.
Kia ora tātou, ko Sarah Whakaronua. I am a registered nurse and a registered midwife. I am opposed to this legislation for many reasons, as outlined in my submission. I'm particularly concerned that cash-strapped district health boards will struggle to independently look at the evidence and will no doubt follow the direction of the Ministry of Health, who have made it abundantly clear that they would like to see fluoridation of all public water supplies. The proponents of water fluoridation are obsessed by the economic benefits seen in dental health, but more research and analysis is needed to rule out the very real possibility of an increase of bone fractures in our elderly population. The savings made by avoiding a couple of fillings down here will be massively offset by the cost of hip fractures at this end of life. And with an ageing population, this becomes particularly pertinent. Our very young are also at risk, with a 2010 New Zealand study showing that babies who are fully formula fed will exceed the upper limit for fluoride exposure and are at increased risk of developing dental fluorosis. If the entire public water supply is fluoridated, what provision will be made for parents who bottle feed their infants? Will the DHB fund reverse osmosis water filters? Health is about self-determination. If I don't agree with water fluoridation, I can choose to live in Petone, where if I am in Hawke's Bay, I can live in Napier as opposed to Hastings. But under this legislation, my right to self-determination will be taken away by a district health board beholden to the Ministry of Health. One of the core principles of primary healthcare is community participation in defining and implementing health agendas. This legislation seeks to bypass community participation and implement an already set health agenda, and that is why I am fundamentally opposed to it. Thank you.
Very clear and concise submission.
No questions. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. So, thank you.
Thank you.
And you may just, for our purposes, just introduce who's here and who is not.
Well, thank you for this opportunity to speak. My name is Neil Crouch. I'm your health advisor for Northern District Health Board, but I'm also a hospital dentist and have been for 32 years. And we also have Virginia McLaughlin, who is our medical officer of health, who focuses on public health. We're going to split our submission in two. I'll speak for 5 minutes, and then Virginia will speak for 5 minutes. My view is a personal view, linked to the Northern District Health Board submission, and Virginia is going to talk more on the public health side of things. Okay, so I just want to reiterate what Northern District Health Board would recommend. We do support the transferring of the decision-making process from local government to district health boards. We also recommend that the government considers providing financial support to the highly deprived communities such as Northland to fluoridate their water supplies, which would result in greater health benefits for the community. Northern District Health Board also recommends that the committee considers the other two options mentioned in the regulatory impact statement prepared for the bill. That of the decision-making by the Director General of Health, or making fluoridation mandatory by legislation. And that would defer away some of our concerns around decision-making being made within an elected body. Either of these two options eliminates a number of risks around that, challenges in court and public debate. So why am I here? Why have I made the effort to be here? I could have been treating patients today, but I believe I'm making a much better impact on the future of health in New Zealand by being here. I'm a public health dentist. I mainly treat children and adults with high decay rates under GA, and I also treat a lot of special needs patients and intellectually and physically disabled patients. I've seen how poor oral health can lead to serious and debilitating pain and dental infections, some of which have blocked people's airways and have actually become life-threatening. I've also seen how poor oral health and sepsis leads to children's failure to thrive in terms of physically, developmentally, socially and educationally. I've also seen how poor oral health, especially those with decayed front teeth in adults, impacts negatively on their self-esteem, general well-being, their ability to eat and smile, and their chances on getting a job. Many of these groups of patients I see are vulnerable and dependent on others for their well-being. There is also a group in society, they are also a group in society who have very little voice and need others to advocate for them. So what are the issues and what are my comments? We do spend a lot of time and money trying to cure or fix health problems that have already existed. And in terms of dental decay, we know it is a totally preventable disease. We know that a small amount of fluoride present in the mouth a few times a day makes teeth super strong, and it actually stops dental decay starting in the first place. So it is a pure, preventable public health measure in its purest form. And we also know water fluoridation is the most effective way to deliver those small amounts of fluoride to our population. The other thing we are very conscious of is water fluoridation reaches the whole community, even the most vulnerable groups in our society. We know it can reduce decay rates in children by up to 30%, and after 50 years of knowing water fluoridation works, 400 million people around the globe are enjoying the benefits of water fluoridation. This is a testimony to the fact that governments and the scientific community acknowledges it is a safe and effective public health measure. With that in mind, I fully support this bill to place the decision making in the hands of DHB. And what we do in DHBs is we do everything we can to make people well and keep people well so that they can live full and enjoyable lives. Thank you.
Thanks, Neil. Kia ora. I want to continue on now about community water fluoridation. It's effective and it's safe and it's for all. The burden of tooth decay is highest among the most deprived socio-economic groups, and this is a segment of the population for which the benefits of community water fluoridation appear to be the greatest. So we need to remember that. In terms of Northland, I think we need to paint a picture. It's a significant place with very significant needs. And what I've done is provide you with some maps just highlighting some of the statistics from our submission, because statistics are always a bit dry when you look at them in number format. So let's look at Northland. The first map, the unemployment one, actually shows the dark patches of Northland having high unemployment rate. But if you dig deeper into this, in actual fact, there's an 18% unemployment rate for Maori, compared with about 6% for European. So there's an inequity in terms of when we look at these actual statistics for Northland. Māori themselves comprise around 54% of our kids, aged between 0 and 14, and 50% of those aged between 15 and 24. So we have quite a unique population there. If we go to the next map, just sort of going through these quite quickly, this one is the New Zealand indices of multiple deprivation, and in the dark red you can see the most deprived areas. Again, for this, if we drill down, we can see the Far North District for Northland. We have 3 councils there, Far North District, Fluoride and Kaipara, which is to the south. But we can see here that Far North, by and large, sticks out for the Northland region. And that's really important to realise, because that particular area also has a high Māori relative population as well. The third graph I've got is taken from the National Performance Review, and it plots the average household income for all the councils across New Zealand against the affordability of 3 water services: drinking water, wastewater, stormwater. And what I've tried to do there is highlight our 3 councils, Far North, Kaipara and Fluoride, and you can see how outstanding the Far North and Kaipara are. This is even more marked because when you look at the average wage salary for those employed in Northland, it's around 48,000 on the 2003 census, which is 12% lower than the national average. However, the average is a bit skewed, so if you look at the median income, it's much lower. So it's about 23,000 for Northland, but 19,000 for Maori. And this is really important because we also need to recognise that around 30% of our Tamariki Maori live in families where the only income is means-tested benefits. So we're looking at a group that certainly fulfills the criteria of being a deprived socio-economic group. So, in summary, we really support the intent of the Health Fluoridation of Drinking Water Bill. I think it will be important, the intent of transferring the decision-making process from local government to DHBs if we go down that track. We did have a circumstance back in 2009 where we did have fluoridation in the far north, but it was pulled out again by local council as a unilateral decision. So for our communities, it's important in terms of looking at that decision-making process. And going back to our recommendation, we really strongly recommend that the government considers providing financial support to the highly deprived communities, such as Northland, to fluoridate the water supplies, because I think our councils will struggle to get this in. And also, again, we recommend that the committee considers the other two options mentioned in the regulatory impact statement prepared, that of decision-making by the Director General of Health or mandatory legislation, which would take away these continual challenges we see between boards and legal issues. And hopefully that money could be better spent on actually getting fluoridation in. Thank you.
Thank you. Very useful, very clear.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you both.